It's been 84 years.
All right, well, maybe not quite that long, but it has been such a long time since we've seen really any major updates from Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. And both of those updates from 2017 to now included the Switch Lite, which was just the Switch but smaller without detachable controllers, and the Switch OLED, which had a bigger OLED screen and an improved kickstand. And that was it, right up until today, or whenever this video goes live, which is a random Thursday in January, when we finally get the teaser trailer for the Switch 2, which, yes, that is the name, and that is the logo. So let's talk about it, and talk about what Nintendo did tell us and what they didn't tell us. One of the first things that was made very clear in the trailer was that it's bigger than the original Switch, and presumably the Switch OLED, but they only compared it to the original Switch with its 6.2-inch screen, and not the 7-inch screen of the OLED, presumably because the new Switch 2 is going to have the 8-inch screen everybody talked about, and comparing a 7-inch screen to a 6.8-inch screen isn't quite as impressive. Although if some of the rumors are to be believed, we're not going to be waiting for an OLED version, it's just going to have one. So that will be a marked improvement, especially if it's a higher resolution, because going from a 720p LCD screen to a 720p OLED screen is impressive in terms of colors, but not impressive in terms of resolution. The next thing they showed us was the chassis design, which I gotta say, I kinda like it, especially the kickstand, though I am really hoping that that thin U-shaped kickstand is made of metal like it is on the OLED version of the Switch, because I could just see some kid playing the Switch 2 and breaking that if it's made of plastic. I mean, I saw kids breaking the little dinky kickstand of the original Switch, so God forbid if that thing's not made of metal, I could just picture it breaking now. But alongside the new and improved kickstand and obviously the bigger overall chassis, we have a USB-C port on the bottom, which makes sense because that's where it's going to be docking. And then we have one on the top, which I'll be curious what they're going to use it for. Some people have said storage or other kinds of accessories like different controller ports. I don't know yet, and nobody does because Nintendo didn't make it official, but it is cool to see. It's also cool to see that they did keep the headphone jack. So even though now the Switches all support Bluetooth connectivity for headphones, which they didn't originally, you have both options, Bluetooth headphones or wired headphones. So thank God. Or I guess Nintendo, which, I mean, according to their legal team, might as well be God, but either way, we still have a headphone jack. Also, based on what we're seeing from the vents at the top of this thing, it looks like the cooling is pretty beefed up, which makes sense considering the leaked or rumored internals, which I'll touch on briefly, but obviously I don't like covering rumors on this channel because I like to talk about things that have been officially announced, but the cooling does look pretty beefy considering that when you look at the Switch OLED, the grill is pretty small, and the other two, the original Switch and the Switch Lite, are still considerably smaller than what we're seeing on the new Switch 2. So that gives me an idea that the internals are going to be generating a little bit more heat than what we had on the original. Then moving around to the side of the Switch 2, we have the new recessed connectors for the Joy-Cons, and they seem to be magnetic because I don't see a rail system, and the new snap animation they use really implies it's magnetic, and I've seen magnetic connectors work on things like the Lenovo Legion Go, so we'll see how that is on the new Switch 2, because the rail system on the Switch OLED is pretty beefy, but I also know that the rail system on the original Switches were kind of weak later on in life, so I'll be curious how these hold up. And we also get these really neat little accent colors inside the ports, and I'm curious if those will change depending on which controller bundle you buy. Like if you get a white controller bundle like these, are they going to be white on the inside or red and white or red and blue, or how's that going to work? I'll be curious to see, because so far we've had the blue and red colors, and those are the accents inside and on the Joy-Cons. I saw some people saying that they're changeable, but I don't know. I didn't see that in the rumors, but again, nothing's really been confirmed aside from what we've seen so far. And of course, it looks like that magnetic system's also going to be on the controller grip that comes with it, and the controller grip still looks like a dog face, but whatever. But now moving over to the controllers, these new Joy-Cons look pretty sleek. I love the little accent designs, but I like how most of it is all black. We did see on some of the leaks that that little button underneath the home button on the right side Joy-Con is a C button, but there is no C on it in the trailer, so I don't know if they just removed it for that or what the case may be, because we don't know what it does, but either way, it does have the button present as well as everything else we saw. The only difference is some of the leaks I saw showed that the Joy-Con colors were inside the arrows and the X, A, B, Y buttons, but in this case, it's just black for the D-pad and white for the lettering, so I don't know. Then, of course, we have the accent colors on the connector that goes to the Switch 2, and you also have those same colors on the wrist straps that you can connect, and I'll be curious how those hold on if it's magnetic, because, man, I wouldn't trust magnets when you're flinging a Joy-Con at the TV, but maybe Nintendo has something else up their sleeve that we didn't see, obviously. These accent colors also seem to be on a piece that goes up around the thumbsticks on the Joy-Cons. Now, I don't know if that's just a piece of plastic or if it's a rubber piece to maybe protect the thumbsticks on the Joy-Cons from getting stick drift from dust. I don't know. It has been so long.
84 years.
And Nintendo still has not resolved the stick drift problem on the Joy-Cons, so maybe that's their solution on this, but again, it has been far too long. We have waited way too long for them to address or fix any sort of stick drift issue. But fortunately, there is something you don't have to wait a long time for, which is switching to our video partner, Mint Mobile. For me personally, I started using Mint Mobile back in 2023 when I wanted to get a business plan for my YouTube channel, but the big carriers were just way too expensive. Mint Mobile offered the same premium service for $15 a month. You can also get unlimited talk and text alongside the nation's largest 5G network. So when it comes to speeds, you really don't have to worry. I mean, look at the speeds that I'm getting. That's on cellular. That's pretty awesome. And on top of that, Mint Mobile also gives you flexibility when it comes to the kind of devices you can connect, whether it be a Google Pixel 6 Pro where you just download the eSIM and you're online, or if you're using an iPhone 7 Plus and you need them to send you a standard SIM card. You have both options completely available to you, and it's super easy to get connected. And for a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering new customers 50% off of their 12-month unlimited package. That is a ton of data for not a lot of money. So if that interests you or anything else I mentioned, go ahead and check out the link in the description. It's trymintmobile.com/GarrettCrespo. Link will be down below. Go ahead and check it out if you're interested. Huge thanks to Mint Mobile for supporting this video. Now on to the few things left that Nintendo talked about. So like I was saying, the new Joy-Cons do have accent colors around the thumbsticks, and the thumbsticks do look bigger, but we don't know if they've fixed anything at all to do with stick drift. But, I mean, I guess a boy can dream. We also see the C button, but again, they don't have the C on it, even though the rumors and leaks showed it as a C button, so maybe they removed it for the trailer. We don't know what it does, but it's there, but not labeled. What is labeled, and is actually a lot larger, are the SR and SL buttons, so presumably there's going to be some more games kind of taking advantage of this, but I don't know. It's kind of nice to see that they're bigger, because these are super tiny, even with the little side rail attached, so that's kind of cool. But I never used them personally, because I like having two thumbsticks, but either way, they're still there. Now, one of the things that I didn't see on the new Joy-Cons was the little IR spot that we had on the original Joy-Cons, and I don't know if this is because they removed it or if the new Joy-Cons are just made out of IR translucent plastic, but if they don't have it, that means that even though the Switch 2 does support original Switch games, it's not going to support all of them, because there are some that still need the little IR receiver, and if that's gone, then, well, that means those games just literally can't work. Which also means I'm assuming that Labo isn't going to work, but I don't think Labo is going to work anyway because of the different sizes in the Joy-Cons themselves, so expect some other overpriced giant pieces of cardboard to be shipping for the Switch 2 if they do another version of Labo. Although if that IR function is the one thing they get rid of, I don't really see too many people getting torn up about it unless they are die-hard Labo fans, because I personally find the motion controls and the ability to sit back and play a game with two separate controllers in my hand a lot cooler than using the little IR thing at the bottom. Aside from that, we got to see the new dock shape, and that was it. We didn't see the ports on the back. We don't know what's going to be running out from it, if it's got Ethernet, USB. I mean, obviously it's got HDMI, but is it USB-C? Is it USB-A? Does it still have Ethernet? Did they remove it? Did they beef it up? We don't know. We just know that the Switch goes in it, just like the old Switch, and there's a big-ass Switch 2 logo on the front. Cool. Okay, look, to be as brutally honest as possible, this trailer is as low information of a trailer as possible. I have watched it so many times trying to get as much information as possible, but there's nothing. We know that it's backwards compatible with Switch games, we know that it plays Mario Kart, we know that it docks like the old Switch, we know how the controllers connect, we know the color, and we know it's bigger than the Nintendo Switch original, but we don't know anything about the ARM Cortex chip that's rumored to be powering it, or the Ampere architecture being used in the GPU, or the 12 gigabytes of RAM that's rumored to be in it, or the different clock speeds from the docked to undocked style. We don't know any of that. From everything that the rumors show, this is basically going to be a Steam Deck but running Nintendo software, which you could technically already be running Nintendo software on some other not Nintendo specific hardware, but the point is, this is just a trailer to say, here's the Switch 2, we're finally giving it to you, or at least showing you what it looks like. Now can you stop leaking our stuff? And really that kind of tracks for Nintendo. To be fair though, I feel like this trailer was so that Nintendo could give us one crucial piece of information, which is that the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out this year, 2025. And as a little bonus, they are actually holding Switch 2 events in April, I believe it was. Yes, those events are going to be in New York, Los Angeles, and Dallas during the month of April. So if you're in those areas, you can actually go and experience the Switch 2, which is kind of cool. But for now, the only official things we know about the Switch are what was put in that trailer, which is just visuals and backwards compatibility. So as much as I wish I could talk about more in this video, there really isn't anything else to cover. But I mean, hey, look at the bright side. We got the Switch 2 before GTA 6, so there is that. But either way, that's been it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the Switch 2 down in the comments. If you enjoy this kind of content, definitely make sure to like, maybe subscribe if you want to see more like it. And again, a huge thanks to Mint Mobile for partnering with me for this video. Check out the link in the description. Again, try mintmobile.com/GarrettCrespo. And aside from that, I will see you all in the next video. Thanks again for being here, and have a good one. Boy, oh boy, I cannot wait to see what the Nintendo haters have to say about this video.